a major victory for reproductive freedom.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court strikes down the state's 1849 abortion ban. What question remains unanswered?
And the difference that parents will see at the Madison Children's Museum after recent budget cuts.
And I'm tracking thunderstorms way up to the north in northern Wisconsin. How far south would they make it? And will it impact concerts on the square?
You're watching Live at 4. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, as of today, a 19th century abortion ban is officially invalid in Wisconsin.
The state Supreme Court's liberal majority handed down that decision this morning. In it, the justices concluded the legislature repealed the ban when it enacted laws about abortion in the wake of the Roe v. Wade decision from the United States Supreme Court.
The justices ruled 4-3 to strike down the 176-year-old abortion ban. Attorney General Josh Kaul filed the lawsuit right after Roe v. Wade was overturned.
And as Arman Rahman reports, while he celebrated today's ruling for reproductive rights, he says it outlines a longer fight for health care access in the state of Wisconsin.
That's right, clarity. That's what Attorney General Josh Kaul says was at the core of this decision for women, doctors, and reproductive rights in general in Wisconsin.
I did feel confident that we had a chance of winning this case because I thought we were right on the law.
Kaul's argument was that when Roe v. Wade was overturned at the federal level, it brought up two sets of laws in Wisconsin, one written before Roe and one written after. So he says the laws written after, which include a ban on abortion 20 weeks after fertilization from the Scott Walker era, would supersede a law from 1849. Now that 20-week law is still on the books, but before 20 weeks, there is no sweeping abortion ban in the state.
We can't let Wisconsin return to that kind of environment again. So while this decision is an incredibly positive step for freedom, I also think it's critical that our legislature do what the Supreme Court suggested in Dobbs and take up this issue and hear from Wisconsinites about how we can better protect reproductive freedom for the long term in Wisconsin.
That's because today the Supreme Court also dismissed a separate case from Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin, which says the 1849 law also violated the state constitution. And constitutional law experts tell me that was a very cautious move by the state court's liberal majority. Hear more on that tonight at 6.
We will see you at 6, Armand. Thank you. Attorney General Kaul says at this time there is no specific plan to challenge other abortion restrictions that exist in Wisconsin. We do have a statement from Republicans on this ruling. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu said today is a sad day for the state of Wisconsin. The court's role is to analyze the law free from political influence. The majority ignored that constitutional responsibility today.
We'll have team coverage of the decision tonight. Find all of our coverage with the free Channel 3000 mobile app. Well, now to team coverage of tonight's Concerts on the Square event. It's already week 2. How about that? News 3 Now this morning's Chris Stanford and our evening anchor Sarah Carlson are live at the Capitol.
And meteorologist Alex Harrington is here in the studio tonight watching the weather. So let's start with you, Alex. Looks like it's going to be high and dry for the concert, right?
I think so. We've been watching the chance for a couple of thunderstorms, but nearly all weather models from days ago up to today fizzle this line of thunderstorms that currently is over the north part of Wisconsin, just near the Wausau area up towards Green Bay. As we zoom on in here to the rest of southern Wisconsin, look at future track. Just noticing a few far between thunderstorms, trying to make it in 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then for the most part, they fizzle out as they move into southern Wisconsin. So that's why we have about that 20% chance of an isolated shower storm. Blaze was mentioning in Savannah this morning, say, yeah, take that umbrella just in case at Concerts on the Square. Anything that would occur this evening looks to be brief, but we do have more storm chances in the forecast after that isolated chance tonight. We have more storm chances as we get beyond Concerts on the Square going on into Thursday and perhaps into the 4th of July. I have a little more information on that coming up.
All right, Alex. Thank you. Now let's get out to our crew live on the Capitol Square.
Yeah, Chris and Sarah join us live with what's coming up tonight. Hey, friends, how's it going out there?
Hey, Brady and Susan, it's beautiful. We are lucky.
Very.
Different shifts, but this shift right now is the one to be on. It's a beautiful day, second Concerts on the Square of the season. People are filling up the grass pretty fast.
Yeah, a lot of blankets out on the lawn, as you would expect for nice weather like this. There's still plenty of spots open. Not quite the foot traffic quite yet. The people are picking up. I mean, so if you're thinking about getting down here, you're going to want to get down here sooner rather than later. It's a big night, you know, Sarah. We got the big holiday coming up in a couple of days, 4th of July, and tonight's theme is so fitting.
It's perfect. Celebration of Liberty. So we're at the King Street corner of Capitol Square, as everybody knows. And again, we can hear all of the tables going up and the people starting to file in. But yeah, still plenty of room.
Yeah, one of the things that gets me this time in the evening is when the food trucks start firing up. And you start smelling all that delicious food. Oh, and it just makes your appetite. Yeah, just a little bit. But we got a lot of treats tonight. Not only do we have the celebration of Liberty theme going on for the 4th of July week here, we also have a couple of young artists that will be featured during a portion of tonight's show. The 2025 Young Artist Concerto Competition co-winners, 17 and 15-year-old, who are going to take center stage behind us.
And we get to hear a lot more about them, including a 17-year-old young woman from right here in Middleton. So again, 7 to 9 p.m. the show. We'll hear some cannons with the 1812 Overture. So we have an exciting night ahead.
Oh yeah, all the favorites that you'd expect to hear on the 4th of July and right around it are going to be played tonight by the so talented Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra that just leaves me breathless every single year when we come out. So coming up in a few minutes, we're going to talk with Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra CEO Joe Lanus about what else we can expect tonight and for the rest of this season. So for now, Brady and Susan, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you both. We'll check back in with you later. Well, the Madison Children's Museum is the latest nonprofit to be affected by loss of federal funding.
The museum said they lost up to 10% of their budget after grants were taken away. Our Tanasia Shaw is reporting on the differences that parents will see.
The Madison Children's Museum is going through changes and uncertainty.
We're going to make sure that we are able to keep our access programs, which provides free or reduced admission so that all families can come to the museum.
Charlotte Cummins is a director at Madison's Children's Museum and said that the nonprofit lost 5 to 10% of their operational budget from 2 of their biggest federal grants, the Institute of Museums and Library Services and the National Endowment for Humanities. This led to 13 layoffs.
So with those deep cuts, we are feeling confident that we can get the museum back onto a stable ground and be able to move forward.
Because of the staffing cuts, the biggest difference that parents will notice is less events hosted by the Madison Children's Museum and less staff around while kids play.
And so we're going to have to change up some of the things we do. We will still have staff available, but some of the things that will be different is we'll have reduced programming.
Reporting in Madison, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Tanasia, and we will have more on the budget cuts tonight at 5.
A reminder to submit your plant questions this afternoon because Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will be with us in the next half hour to answer all of them. You still have time to submit a question at tips@channel3000.com. Well, tonight's Concerts on the Square theme is a celebration of liberty.
Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra CEO is telling us all about it when we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready for week 2 of Concerts on the Square.
How about that? Let's go out live to the Capitol where our Sarah Carlson and Chris Stanford are right now. Ooh, you have a good job today.
Oh boy, it is a beautiful one. It's been really awesome. Second Concerts on the Square this year. Hard to keep track of it. It's so great out here.
It's blue skies, those light puffy clouds, temperatures right where you think they would be this time of year. We're with the 4th of July around the corner. Our good friend Joe Lanus with the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra, the man himself. You and your crew help make all of this happen every single year, every single week this time of the summer. I mean, it's so easy to forget what all goes into a big event like this. Give us an idea behind the scenes, what it takes to put on Concerts of the Square each week.
Well, first of all, thank you. It's great to be here as always. We have 75 volunteers each week. We have a staff of 10. We hire 15 crew, 60 musicians, 10 production partners, city partners, state partners. So all told, there's probably well over 200 people today making this happen, and we have basically every minute scripted out on the sequencing of the load-in because you're doing a pop-up event for 50,000 people, and it has to pop up, and pop down in 24 hours.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It really
Right.
is. In such a special week, too, with Independence Day coming up. What can we look forward to? I know we were talking about cannons, but I know it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's always the second Concerts on the Square. It's the Independence Day program. We always feature our Young Artist Concerto competition winner. This year we have two. They were so good back in February. We have a violinist and a pianist that I'm sure Andrew will talk about when he's on later. But we have the Armed Forces Salute, where we acknowledge our servicemen and women. That's in the second half of the program. And then the 1812 Overture with the cannons. It's just kind of a tradition that happens every year, and you can just look forward to that.
I can't think of a more signature Madison event than Concerts on the Square. To get those people here, to get 50,000 people here to celebrate our nation, with the music bringing us together, I mean, what does it mean for you? I mean, you're a big part of this, getting our city together. I mean,
Yeah.
do you kind of recognize that?
I do. When I have an opportunity today, and it happens throughout the day, where I can step out of my, I'm the person that's putting this on.
Right.
And I can just take it in. Like right now, it's 4:15, we're 2 hours and 45 minutes to downbeat, and I see 300 blankets already. I mean, I do get goosebumps when I know that the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra brings our community together in this way. And it happens for 42 years, 6 times a year this has gone on. So very few communities have this special ingredient, and I always say this is the community's event. We present it, but this is the community's event.
And you do so much work to get here. And we were talking just before we came live about how music brings people together. We have memorized lyrics of music, and it's the same thing, I think, with this music, with the Chamber Orchestra.
Everybody knows these hits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, and how can people support
Right.
the orchestra? We want to make sure we get that.
Yeah, so if you feel moved by the music tonight, if you're sitting at home and you want to make sure we can continue these concerts, you can go to wcoconcerts.org/donate and make a contribution. It cost us $1.1 million to put this on, and the vast majority of our money comes in from our community, from you out there listening tonight.
All right. Joe, thank you so much for being
thank
here.
you.
We'll talk to you again in a little bit.
Sounds good.
You see, he's watching the clock. It's 4:15. We've got
knows.
2 hours until downbeat. And it's like, here we go. So he's got a tight ship to run. We appreciate the time that he
Thank you.
gives us.
And we'll send it back to you in the studio, Brady and Susan.
You guys are so lucky. This is my favorite Concerts on the Square. The one before the 4th of July. It's going to be great.
Yes, and just last week, you, Alex, and me, we were out there. Not quite as humid for the folks out there today.
I'm very lucky. Thank you, Chris, Sarah, and Joe. We'll check back in a little bit. Let's head over to Alex. Yeah, the weather so far looks perfect for tonight.
So far, so good. A couple of thunderstorms. Isolated is key. That's the main word. Tonight going on into Thursday. We'll look at radar 3000 in just a moment. But get ready. Hot and humid. 4th of July on the way. I say par for course. It's usually hot and humid around the area on the 4th of July. Radar 3000 showing a couple thunderstorms up near Green Bay and Wausau. I've been watching these storms on our weather models for days now. Over yesterday and today, Joe and I have been in contact. What's going to happen with these storms? Well, there's an isolated chance that 1 or 2 of these storms from Madison areas to the north could get strong tonight, but almost all of our weather models as we go here into the evening fizzle those storms out as we go through the evening into the overnight hours, and that's why we said let's move forward with Concerts on the Square. Now Thursday will be a little bit different here. We still have that isolated chance of a strong to severe thunderstorm and a little bit better coverage for thunderstorm activity, with Future Track showing some thunderstorms right about this time tomorrow night, right around 4 or 5 o'clock. Scattered is key, and then they fizzle as we go into the overnight hours, maybe another thunderstorm as we head into Friday morning. That starts off the 4th of July, and the 4th of July is looking very warm, very humid, already getting up to near 90 degrees as we go into Thursday. Those heat index values, the humidity, as we just mentioned, a little bit lower today. Well, that's going to lift up tomorrow. It's going to turn pretty muggy and very humid by the time we get to the 4th of July, with temperatures getting up close to 90 to 91 degrees as we head towards the late afternoon hour on the 4th of July. So hot, muggy conditions, heat index value 95 to 100. So you really want to consider, if you're going to be outdoors, many will, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate on Friday. And very low storm chances at this point in time. Looks like the fireworks festivities across the area will likely not be impacted by widespread thunderstorm activity. How about a couple stats here with 4th of July? The hottest one, 102 back in 2012. Average for this time of year is 81. Coldest, only 60 degrees for high temperature back in 1967. And that 1.39 inches of rain in 1994 was also accompanied with severe weather. There was a tornado in Lake Wisconsin on 4th of July back in 1994. I'll step out of the way here so you can see the rest of the forecast. Temperatures right around 90 degrees as we head into Saturday, and then a cold front is going to slice into that hot and humid air mass, bringing us good chances for thunderstorms Saturday night going on into the very early part of Sunday, and then beyond, staying seasonable, staying July-like, where we should be for this time of year.
Thank you, Alex. House Republicans are stalling for time on the floor as President Donald Trump and his team work to get a group of right-wing holdouts behind his agenda bill. Most Republicans praise it for its tax breaks, like extending 2017 cuts and upping the child tax credit. But it adds trillions of dollars to the deficit. The Tax Policy Center estimates 60% of the 2017 tax cut money goes to the wealthiest 20%. The CBO forecasts the bill will cause millions to lose health insurance.
30-year-old Brian Kohberger will spend the rest of his life in prison. Today, Kohberger pleaded guilty to murdering 4 University of Idaho students in 2022. He's maintained his innocence for roughly 3.5 years, and he was scheduled to go to trial in August. Instead, today, Kohberger took a deal to remove the death penalty as a possible punishment. He will serve 4 consecutive life sentences without parole and 10 years in prison for burglary. CBS News parent company Paramount has agreed to settle a case brought by President Trump. The case was over edits made to a 60 Minutes interview last year. In a statement, Paramount said the settlement does not include an apology and that in the future, 60 Minutes will release transcripts of interviews with U.S. presidential candidates. The $16 million settlement will go towards the president's legal fees and future presidential library.
The U.S. private sector lost jobs for the first time in 2 years. Payroll provider ADP says the private sector lost 33,000 jobs last month. Most economists were surprised by the data. A review from FactSet found most expected a net gain of 115,000 jobs. ADP says the loss came mostly from stalled hiring plans. Well, tonight, a special event kicks off in Stoughton.
Our Jalen Banks shows us what to expect at the 99th annual Stoughton County Fair. That's when Live at 4 continues. A fun family event kicks off today in Dane County.
The 99th Stoughton County Fair is now underway, and that's where we find our Jalen Banks. Hey, Jalen.
Hey, Brady and Susan. At the Stoughton Fair, you'll be able to find a lot of things. You'll be able to find cows, goats, you name it. Lots of food trucks, but for a lot of people, the most important thing they're looking for is pie. Joining me right now is Joan and Rhonda from the Stoughton Fair Pie Baking Contest. I mean, I've been waiting a really long time to try this pie out real quick, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Joan, you're one of our supervisors here for the pie baking contest. Yep. Tell me, what this is for, what it's all about, and just some of the nuts and bolts behind it.
The pie baking contest is a fundraiser for the fair, and we have a lot of entries, variety of pies. No store-bought pies are allowed. We have 9 classes plus a class for any other pie that didn't match up with the other 9.
So we were talking a little bit off camera, and you guys told me that some of these pies have gone for a lot of money. So tell me, what's the most some of these pies have gone for in the pie baking auction?
Our auction is Saturday, July 5th. It starts about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's held in the Mann Center. And competition, people that know other people and that know the pie baker get into like a competition of bidding, and it just, everybody gets involved, and you know how it is at an auction where you got to beat this guy and whatever, and it turns out to be a lot of fun. Pies range from maybe $50, $75 to a couple of years ago one went for $600.
$600?
Yes.
So that's the highest you've ever seen a pie go for?
What I've seen. Wow. And then Rhonda's went one year for $400. Yeah.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and get over to Rhonda. So Rhonda, real quick, what do we have right here? What pie do we have?
This is a chocolate silk pie, which is like a chocolate mousse pie.
Okay.
a little fudge frosting underneath an Oreo crust, piled with real whipping cream. It's my go-to pie, real easy to make, and when you take a bite of it, it really does melt in your mouth. Hence the word silk. So
do you guys want to go ahead and take a bite real quick while we're still on camera? Yeah, let's go ahead and dig in.
That's good.
Yeah, it's definitely good. So, guys, Rhonda told me that I can bring this pie back to the station, but after that bite, I don't know if that's going to happen. But later on tonight, I'm going to, be live from the dairy barn and hopefully be able to scarf down a little bit more pie for the time being. But for now, reporting from the Stoughton Fair, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
We'll pay $600 for it.
Yeah. We'll put our money together.
Credit card. Yeah. Oh, that looks out of this world. Great job, Jalen. Thank you. Well, we're expecting a possible shower or two tonight. There's a little bit of rain just north of Madison. Alex is keeping an eye on it in his first warn forecast.
Plus, the update we received today on the alleged poison plot case.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
And thanks for sticking with us on this Wednesday here on Live at 4.
And we begin with team coverage of concerts on the square. Chris Stanford and Sarah Carlson are out live downtown with what's going on tonight, and Alex Harrington is here with your forecast. We'll get out to our live crew later on, but for now, let's start with our weather. What's going on, Alex?
Well, if you look right behind me on Radar 3000, you might be a little bit alarmed seeing a couple thunderstorms between Green Bay and Wausau, even a severe thunderstorm warning just west of Green Bay. But we've been watching these thunderstorms pop up and watching them very carefully on weather models for days now, and future track showing those thunderstorms continuing to move off towards the south and towards the east away from southern Wisconsin, and as they do so, very likely dwindling and fizzling as we move through the evening hours. Nonetheless, the Storm Prediction Center is saying an isolated chance of a strong storm with gusty winds overnight tonight, but I think those chances are very, very low. Concerts on the square, that chance of a thunderstorm is there. If you're not quite ready to head downtown just yet, you're about ready to get in the car to do so, take your umbrella with you. There is that tiny chance of that brief shower or thunderstorm, but not expecting it to be a widespread shower or storm chance this evening. We do have more storm chances, rain chances in the forecast as we head into the weekend, especially Saturday night. We'll be tracking a cold front with good chances for showers and thunderstorms. We'll look at that cold front coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Alex. One of the suspects in the poison plot could go to trial. Today, Andrea Whitaker was scheduled for a preliminary hearing for the crimes she's charged with in Dane County. That never happened. Instead, the court canceled the hearing and the judge found there is enough evidence for her to go to trial. That trial will be for 2 counts of first-degree attempted homicide and 1 count of harboring and aiding a felon. She's also charged in Rock County for the same poison plot, 3 counts of attempted homicide, 1 for recklessly endangering safety, 1 for stalking, and another for aggravated battery. Well, this comes one day after a Rock County judge set bond for the other suspect, Paul Van Dyne, at $37.5 million. A criminal complaint alleges Whitaker and Van Dyne tried to poison a Rock County woman multiple times, stalked her, and then tried to kill her. It also alleges the 2 tried to poison another woman in Middleton.
Now, this case led to hazmat situations across the Madison area. 2 weeks ago, law enforcement searched Paul Van Dyne's home on Spooner Street near Camp Randall Stadium and his home on Skyline Drive on Madison's west side. And they were also investigating Whitaker's home on Schrader Road. Our Ellie LaLiberte has been following this case for us, and today she spoke to Madison's hazmat team about how they respond to calls involving dangerous chemicals.
There are 60 members in Madison's hazmat team, and the 3-day call a couple of weeks ago resulted in a full response.
The call from a couple of weeks ago is something rare.
According to court records, the investigation into Van Dyne and Whitaker's alleged poison plot involved chemicals like cyanide, thallium, hydrogen sulfide, and abrin. Lieutenant Zach Hake says dealing with those dangerous substances requires following detailed steps.
It all starts with the interview, right? Are we looking at a solid, liquid, or gas? And from there we can amp up or scale down. So if If we're looking for radiation, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you're probably not even going to know it's there. We've got monitors that will pick up alpha, beta, gamma, and neutron radiation.
7 DCI agents were sent to the hospital after dealing with the substances from the investigation. And during that hazmat call, teams had to perform emergency decontamination. That's essentially hosing people down in the street. And tonight at 10, you can hear what triggers a response like that. Reporting in Madison, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie. We'll see you at 10. You can receive updates on the poison plot case directly to your phone with the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
As of today, a 19th century abortion ban is officially invalid in Wisconsin. The state Supreme Court's liberal majority handed down that decision this morning. In it, justices concluded the legislature repealed the ban when it enacted laws about abortion in the wake of the Roe v. Wade decision from the United States Supreme Court.
The ruling means the 20-week abortion ban lawmakers set is law. There is an exception if there's a serious medical risk to the mother. The court also dismissed Planned Parenthood's case, which argued the 1849 ban was unconstitutional. In doing so, the justices left the question of whether there is a constitutional right to abortion unanswered.
Workers at Mercy Health East Clinic in Janesville are now on strike. You could see many UAW Local 95 members gathering and holding signs outside the facility today. They include clerical workers, coders, and nurses. Union leadership says they want an increase in pay due to the continued rise of inflation. Negotiations broke down between the two parties, resulting in the strike.
One of the answers they gave us as to why they don't want to give us the details of the financials is that it's not that we can't afford your raises, it's that we don't see it makes business sense. And that's like a punch in the gut. That hurt all of us.
Mercy Health says it plans to implement a strategic plan to continue providing care to patients during the strike. The union says it doesn't know how long the work stoppage will last.
A mixed bag on Wall Street today. The Dow dropped 11 points. The Nasdaq was up, though, 190 points at the close, and the S&P 500 is up 29 points.
Breaking news nationally, a judge has just denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs after a jury acquitted him of the most serious charges in his sex trafficking case. The jurors found Combs guilty on 2 counts of transporting for the purpose of prostitution. They found him not guilty of charges including racketeering and sex trafficking. Each prostitution count holds a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. The judge wants to sentence him on October 3rd.
One of the firefighters murdered in an ambush in Idaho was a Wisconsin native. Battalion Chief Frank Harwood grew up right here in the Badger State. He graduated in 2006 from Neenah High School. He and 52-year-old John Morrison lost their lives. Investigators are still working to learn more about the suspect, who is also dead.
We are continuing our team coverage of Concerts on the Square.
Sarah Carlson and Chris Stanford will join us live next, and later we'll have another look at the forecast. We'll be right back.
It's a big night in downtown Madison. The blankets are down, the energy is up. It's another Concerts on the Square. Let's check in with Sarah and Chris. We're live out on the Capitol lawn. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Brady and Susan, thank you. It's going good out here. It's a little warm. Sun's beating down on us. But if you've got a spot underneath one of these trees out here with a blanket, oh, how comfortable it is. And you got to think once the sun goes down a little bit before, the drop of the baton, that things are going to get a lot more comfortable.
It's pretty unbelievable how busy it is down here. We're at the corner of King Street, of course, and it's 2.5 hours, a little less maybe before the show. It is bustling, and again, it will be cooler, and the blankets are out and getting full, but you could probably still come out and grab a spot anywhere. There
are a lot of spots available. One of the things you're never sure of whenever you come out here is just how soggy the grass is going to be, how soggy the lawn's going to be. I mean, things look really good. Things are really comfortable out there. It's not too wet. It's not too dry. And but what are you gonna do? Complain about this, when it's the 4th of July in 2 days? I mean, this is the kind of weather you expect when you come here in early July.
You tested that. The grass isn't bad.
I did verify it. I had to go poke the ground to make sure that it wasn't too muddy. But what a night it's going to be. We have a celebration of liberty tonight. Always their second Concerts on the Square this season is the big, patriotic performance. We've got a couple of young featured artists that'll take center stage here. And for the 1812 Overture, you're going to hear a little something special tonight.
That's right. There will be cannons, and this is toward the end of the show, we're told. So something to look forward to. And no, it's nothing bad. It's just some cannons in the performance. One of the young artists, though, that you were talking about is from here in Middleton. So we'll hear more about that, too.
Yeah, it's so special. Next time you hear from us will be during the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to talk with Andrew Sewell, the maestro himself, to see what we can expect tonight. Give us a little idea of the rundown and some of the performances that folks out here will hear, as well as what's ahead for the rest of the season.
Oh, I know. This season, a fantastic one. We'll send it back to you in the studio, Susan and Brady.
All right, we are looking forward to hearing from the maestro in just a little while. Thank you, guys. And now a check on the weather. We might see a few showers tonight at the concerts. They're just north of Madison, so it's kind of a gut check for poor Alex. He's watching them, though.
Well, but first, you can send us your plant questions. You can submit those to tips@channel3000.com. We'll be right back. And we are taking a live look at concerts on the square. You can still set out a blanket. You know, I had so much fun last week.
So did I.
What if we just snuck out there? No one would notice.
Let's do it. Good idea.
The music starts tonight at 7, everyone.
Well, we're taking your plant and garden questions today.
Our pal Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here with us in the studio. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you guys, too.
Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay, so first question. Are there any products for killing trumpet vines sprouting up in lawns?
Okay, so you can use a broadleaf specific herbicide like Weed Be Gone will kill them, but you can also just snip them off with some pruners or mow them with your lawnmower. That will work as well.
Oh, okay, that's
good. But Weed
good.
Be Gone will work.
Weed Be Gone. All right, as the name implies. Okay. Let's see here. Our next question is from Julie. She has a large patch of dead grass that is growing larger, and she said she thinks it might be some kind of a fungus.
Julie, either bring in some samples to the garden center or send some pictures to the plant desk. That's plantdesk@brucecompany.com. Not enough information in the question to know what it is, and we'd want to, if it's not a fungus, we don't want you to put a fungicide on it.
And what about, she said, what about putting mulch down?
Let's see what it is first. Let's
Okay.
see what it is first.
Okay.
All right, Patricia wants to know, she says, I started having issues with my indoor potted plants about 3 months ago. I have a small gnat-looking bugs in the soil. She says she's repotted the plants with new soil and sprayed the soil with a bio-insecticide called Arbor. The problem persists. Any suggestions?
Sounds like fungus gnats. Fungus gnats are just what they sound like. They're a gnat that feeds on decaying matter in your potting medium. And there's a really great product. It's called Mosquito Bits. You can sprinkle it right on the top of the soil, and as you water, it will wash into the plant, to the root system, and kill the larvae, because they have a very short lifespan and they reproduce very quickly, kind of like fruit flies, and so they're constantly regurgitating themselves. So fungus gnats.
What was it? What's the product called?
Mosquito Bits.
Mosquito Bits. What do you think about this Arbor product?
I have never heard of that, but there
Okay.
are tons of things out on the market. I don't know all the products.
Okay. All right. Carol has a question about rhubarb. She said in the past she's had the beautiful thick stalks, but this year they're a little thin and spindly. So what is lacking?
I would say that you would want to put down some broad spectrum, even fertilizer, something organic like Espoma Garden Tone. And then maybe you want to think about next spring splitting it. Rhubarb is very easy to split. You need a sharp shovel, and early when you first see those nodes start to come up, you can dig it out and cut it in pieces and spread it out. It might just be overgrown in the space.
Okay.
Well, Patty wants to know how soon after a Weigela?
Weigela.
Yeah.
I didn't get it either.
You can come for another day and teach us how to say
That
all
is one
these
of the
words.
ones that there's a lot of different pronunciations that we hear.
Well, it drops its blooms. Does one trim it? Also, how much?
Yeah, so Weigela bloom on new wood and on old wood, but primarily that first flush of flowers is on old wood. Buds were developed last year, so you want to prune it soon after it flowers. You can take it back by 20-25%, and you might get some sporadic reflowering this spring or this summer yet. That's just a bonus.
All right. Oh, we're out of time, unfortunately. We have some more questions I don't know, maybe you could take a look at them and answer them when you have some time.
If you guys email them to me, you have my email.
I
then
will do that.
I can answer them that.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for
Thank you,
submitting your
Lisa.
questions, and we'll do this again very soon. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
Well, if your Waigila bushes need some rain and you're wondering when, here's meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Not good chances tonight, not good chances Thursday, even going into the 4th, but good chances as we go Saturday night into Sunday. Keeping an eye on thunderstorms off towards the north and towards the east, up towards Green Bay, but there's a lot of cool air blowing out ahead of these storms. That's called outflow, and that's usually a sign that these storms are going to pulse up and then pulse down. We have one lone shower, maybe a rumble of thunder in Crawford County, and again, keeping an eye on these pop-up showers and storms. Let's go through Future Trek here. It brings those storms from the north to the south, entering Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties right around 7. Got a lot of people downtown for concerts on the square, but look what happens. They all fizzle out. Our weather models have been consistent showing those thunderstorms fizzling out, but more chances as we go into Thursday afternoon, a little bit better as a warm front lifts north into the area, bringing warm and humid air. But those storms fizzle out overnight. As we go into Friday, maybe a thunderstorm to start off the day, but you're probably wondering, well, what's it going to be like Friday night for the firework festivities in southern Wisconsin? Right now it's looking mostly clear. We can't rule out an isolated storm in this hot, humid air mass that we're going to have Friday night. But better chances come in as we go into Saturday as a cold front comes in from the west right around 4 o'clock. Prairie du Chien all the way up to the Dalles, and that cold front moves through the area Saturday night going into Sunday with scattered showers and thunderstorms. And one or two of those storms could be on the strong side. We'll get a better picture of the potential for strong storms on Saturday as we march a little bit closer. But tonight going into Thursday, gusty winds, some hail, not out of the question if we do get a pop-up thunderstorm to make it this far south into southern Wisconsin. Friday, breaking things down here, stepping out of the way so you can see that 4th of July forecast, 91 for high temperature, heat index values 95 to 100, and again, that very low storm chance. After we get through that hot, humid Friday, Saturday is going to be very warm and humid. Then our weather is going to turn seasonable, meaning normal for this time of year. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s with some on and off shower and thunderstorm chances once we get out into next week. Stick around, all about the best places to work coming up at Live at 4.
Do you think your business is the best place to work?
Well, now you can let everyone know about it. Madison Magazine is launching the Best Places to Work nominations. The nominations for the Best Places to Work are open now through August 22nd. Best Places to Work winners will be celebrated along with our Best of Madison Business Award winners at Madison Magazine's Best of Business Annual Luncheon. That's coming up in February.
And I wonder how many people left work a little early today to put their blanket down at concerts on the square.
And it's nice out there. It's not that soupy stuff that we had last week. Yeah, we were sweating bullets last week. But tonight we're just keeping a close eye on thunderstorm activity off towards the north and towards the east. But all weather models are favorable, showing those scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms fizzling as we head towards that all-important 7 o'clock hour. So that's certainly good news. And we relayed that to Joe and company, and that's why we're deciding to go forward with concerts on the square for tonight.
All right, good news. Thank you, Alex. We'll be right back. On Live at 4, it's almost the 4th of July. Dr. Zorba Pastor will be here with some fireworks safety tips. And straight ahead, next at 5, hear the responses from both sides in today's major abortion ruling. Thanks for watching Live at 4, everybody. We hope to see you back here tomorrow. You can always catch us 24/7 streaming on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.